Next, on the news, as the government shutdown heads toward its fifth week, there's a crisis ahead for millions of New Yorkers who rely on government assistance to put food on the table. And one Brooklyn food pantry is stepping up.
For us, this isn't about politics. This is about feeding people who are hungry. It's about the gospel.
The Diocese of Brooklyn goes to Washington. Thousands head to the nation's capital for a record-breaking pilgrimage. Plus, they wrote these letters at the beginning of their love story. Where they ended up is a story of its own.
Fate? I just don't think there are many coincidences in life.
I'm Jessica Easthope. Currents News starts right now. Where will my next meal come from? That's the question 2.9 million New Yorkers are asking themselves today. The government shutdown is headed into November, and that means no federal aid for the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP. But at St. John's Bread and Life, staff are racing to fill the hunger gap. Sanai Meitz's head swirls with uncertainty as she waits for her number to be called at St. John's Bread and Life Food Pantry in Bedford-Stuyvesant. She and her kids are hungry. She's been on disability since she was hit by a stray bullet last year while she was pregnant with her son. The roughly $1,000 a month she gets from the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, goes toward buying all of their food, diapers, and essentials. And soon, it will be gone.
My mind is just going. It's like I'm going crazy right now. I feel like I'm struggling.
Government assistance programs announced Monday that SNAP recipients will be doing without for at least the month of November. The current government shutdown is forcing federal aid to a halt. And desperation is setting in for Sanai and 3 million others across New York State.
The shelter I'm in is like a cooking facility. So I'm going to need my benefits, like get food and stuff to cook for my kids and my siblings.
At Bread and Life, it's business as usual. For now, 85% of their clientele receive some type of government assistance. The pantry has already seen an 11% uptick in visits this month, and now it's bracing for a tidal wave of need.
This is a crisis that we're in, and I think we're not seeing the end of it yet.
This year, Bread and Life has been dealing with its own deficit, nearly $1 million less in government funding. It sustains 28 other pantries that are bound to see the 1 in 5 New York City residents who lean on SNAP when they become a sole source of food.
Hunger is not waiting for Washington. People need to eat, children need to eat, and the people making the decisions have never been on a food pantry line.
For Sanai and hundreds of thousands of other clients on SNAP, Bread and Life isn't a pantry.
This isn't about politics. It's about the gospel.
It's a promise kept.
I already go through anxiety and stuff like that, so it's just making it even more worse.
Open up the government so that those that don't have a voice will at least have food on the table and a place to live.
The shutdown, which began on October 1st, is now the second longest on record. If you want to help St. John's Bread and Life, just go to its website, breadandlife.org. And be sure to stick with Currents News and the tablet for continuing coverage of the government shutdown. A record high number of pilgrims from the Diocese of Brooklyn packed the Basilica of the National Shrine of the Immaculate Conception in Washington, D.C. on Saturday. More than 3,000 faithful from both Brooklyn and Queens took part in the pilgrimage to the largest Roman Catholic Church in North America, led by Bishop Robert Brennan. The day began with a solemn procession through the Great Upper Church, followed by multilingual rosaries, confessions, and a youth holy hour filled with music in the Crypt Church. During their last event of the day, a pilgrimage mass celebrated by Bishop Brennan, the Brooklyn Shepherd thanked the pilgrims for their presence and for being an inspiration of faith to him and one another. Pilgrims heading to Rome for the Jubilee may have a hard time packing in all the Eternal City has to offer in one day. But thanks to one exhibit at the Vatican Museums, they can now visit 7 of the city's most iconic churches at once. Sean Patrick Lovett tells us more.
The streets of Rome and its most emblematic churches come to life in the exhibition The Seven Churches of Rome, the Jubilee itinerary captured through the photography of Romualdo Moscioni. Located inside the Vatican Museums, this exhibition aims to present two paths, the Jubilee year and an itinerary through the seven most prominent churches of Rome.
You'll see in this exhibition 7 sections, one for each church. The pilgrimage begins at St. Peter's, the heart of Christianity, continues at St. Paul outside the walls, and then touches all the most important basilicas. From the Cathedral of Rome, the first and most important basilica of the East, to the 3 minor basilicas, which are the Holy Cross in Jerusalem, St. Lawrence outside the walls, and St. Sebastian outside the walls. It concludes at the heart of the Marian devotion par excellence, that is, the Basilica of St. Mary Major.
The exhibition seeks to bring visitors into the origins of photography, as the pilgrimage images are shown through photographic negatives.
It's a true photographic itinerary. The historical images are truly evocative, distinctive, and suggestive. Emotions also conveyed through very bold framing or a meticulous attention to detail, as well as the people. They invite us to enter these churches, even if only virtually. And perhaps they also push us, with a bit of curiosity, to actually return in person.
With this exhibition, Rome offers a unique look at the Jubilee pilgrimage and pays tribute to the work of Romualdo Moscioni, one of Italy's most important historic photographers.
That was Sean Patrick Lovett reporting. The exhibition is included with your ticket to the Vatican Museums. Now to another update on an important museum story. French authorities say they've made 2 arrests in the historic jewel heist at the Louvre last week, adding that one man taken into custody was preparing to leave the country. There's no word if any of the more than $100 million worth of jewels taken from the famous Paris museum were recovered. Investigators are looking for 4 thieves in total. Some Catholic teens from Kentucky say they were at the Louvre as the heist went down. The students from Trinity High School say they were taking a 9 a.m. tour of the Paris Museum when one of them says they heard something that sounded like power tools. Moments later, the teens and their chaperones were among the crowds ushered out of the Louvre. The students say they were shaken by the experience and went to Mass at Notre Dame Cathedral to calm down. Over the weekend, President Donald Trump kicked off his Asia tour. The commander-in-chief arrived in Malaysia on Saturday, the first stop in the 5-day trip where he will meet with the newly elected Japanese Prime Minister and Chinese President Xi Jinping. During his stay in Malaysia, Trump oversaw a peace agreement between Cambodia and Thailand, which requires both countries to begin removing heavy weapons from the border. The commander-in-chief says he plans to talk about a long-imprisoned Catholic activist with the Chinese president. Jimmy Lai was arrested in 2020 under Beijing's national security law. The Catholic convert has frequently credited his newfound faith with giving him the courage to resist communist pressure. Trump is scheduled to meet with Xi Jinping next week, where he said Lai's release is on my list of things to discuss. The Archdiocese of San Antonio is speaking out, warning parishioners and people of faith not to donate to any GoFundMe page they find online connected to their churches, schools, and ministries. Pages like this one, which was created for St. Pius X Church in San Antonio, have been popping up after the digital donation platform GoFundMe proactively created accounts without the Archdiocese's approval. In fact, the company created nonprofit pages for more than 1.4 million organizations by using public IRS data and information from trusted partners. In a statement, the Archdiocese is stressing it does not use GoFundMe and is urging those who wish to support its parishes to give through its official online platforms found on its website. The pastor of St. Pius X, Father Pat O'Brien, says fake pages like this only foster mistrust for those who are already uncomfortable donating online.
We work very hard to get all of our people, especially those who are a little bit older and advanced in years, to trust online giving. So then when a trusted, what used to be a trusted company, I don't really trust them that much anymore, then does this, it sort of takes away that trust factor. I mean, it's not that hard. Take it down. We didn't ask for it. We don't want it. It's confusing people. Take it down.
GoFundMe has since issued an apology acknowledging that the pages have caused confusion. They say the nonprofit accounts would be opt-in only with required verification, and any unclaimed, unverified pages will be removed. 2 months after the shooting at Annunciation Church in Minneapolis, the students from the parish school are planning to turn a tribute to them into art. Volunteers from Bows of Love went row by row, starting their collection of these nearly 50,000 green and blue ribbons that have lined the Twin Cities as a show of support after the tragic mass shooting. They will be sent to the students of Annunciation who plan to use them to create a permanent art piece. Bows of Love hopes to have all the ribbons on public spaces in Minneapolis collected by October 31st. The deadline to collect the rest of the ribbons is in the coming weeks. Finally tonight, one Pennsylvania woman found something quite unexpected inside a book she picked up at a free library. It was a love story, or rather, some private love letters. Currents News' Jenna McDermott reports.
It may look like an ordinary wooden box, but this little free library, where neighbors can take a book, leave a book, had something extra special inside.
Fate? I just don't think there are many coincidences in life.
Debbie Mercury was walking through Merwood Park with her 4-year-old granddaughter, Parker, when the little girl picked up a book from the free library and love letters fell out.
Oh my gosh, I held them to my heart right away. And, again, being a hopeless romantic, I thought, oh, these are so beautiful. These are keepsakes.
Curious, Mercury posted a photo of the letters on Facebook, hoping to find who they belonged to.
The gentleman's nickname, I guess, is Stumps, and he had this little cartoon of a dog that he drew, and I thought, someone is absolutely going to know this guy. So immediately someone said that they knew them.
That someone was Jennifer Chancharulo. She saw the post and realized the letters were hers and her husband Dan's. The couple had written them years ago during Pre-Cana, a Catholic marriage preparation program. When they asked how the letters ended up there,
I'm sure I was just using them for a bookmark at some point.
Dan, now a father of 3, says the couple was clearing out their basement but had no idea the letters were in there when they donated the book From Dude to Dad. He's touched that someone took the time to deliver them home.
It's incredibly cool. So I'm really excited to meet Debbie.
And the feeling is mutual.
I was going to drive them over to their place. And of course, I'm going to be excited to hand deliver them and obviously give them a big hug.
Jenna McDermott, Currents News.
That is this Currents News update. I'm Jessica Easthope. Thank you for joining us because we are putting your faith in the news. Hope to see you again next time.
A youth rosary movement that started with a dream, a vision of the Mother of God, prompting a parishioner at St. Michael's Church in Sunset Park to take action.
She count the plate and she say me, at this point, it say glory Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit, and pray for my kids.
How Norma Andrade makes up the pulse of the parish, Wednesday on Currents News.